Hello, species. Hello, Weathersfield. Weathersfield parents. I want you to stay calm, but not to where needed to. Because there are more child offenders with the school still. And the judges have crime acts roles. They forge names, switch sequences. They switch names even with sequences. These are also people crimes with crime roles facilitated with Trade Center, a proven sequence shift from inside the Ninth Circuit in the Trade Center attack context, proven afterwards, had been affected from inside the Ninth Circuit, which is in Manhattan, proven after. And that led up to 2006 case with a former director of the FBI as a defendant, though. And his federal criminals, co-defendants, already proven. Three of them, one of them lived on, has family on the street in Dearborn Street in Newington. And that was with Eric Jensen, who was put in my class in Weathersfield. And I only saw them in each other's presence a few times. Ray Cololo. You see, these are people also that were facilitated to database crimes, sequence shifts, to crimes with the court involved, New Britain Superior Court, other superior courts like Hartford Superior Court involved criminally. Before the Trade Center attack, then in it, and then since it, and all inter-campuses. See, there are campus ties that aren't realized with people in positions in homes next to schools that are facilitated crime roles with the sensibilities of people put in departments that are type of experts being used for another nature of crime, where they're using those types of experts to further the same crimes. Because it's crime roles with everyone leaning on experts. They're supposed to deal with this type of crimes brought to them by the police. So we have the police individually using the Weathersfield Police Station, retired and standing, with child sex offenders proven, but further recorded, tied to their family members in crime roles with them in the area with offensive evidence reception, identity thefts, and behavior crimes. These are also behavior crimes of judges with offensive evidence reception and were overt criminal enterprises with the area. Recorded how they were motivated to roles with them originally and still. So what they did too, with their crime method, their whole crime methods recorded. They want to have real fast and real slow crimes, saying, "Oh, why don't you tell your family members if you know this is recorded about the rest of the child sex offenders involved with the principal sex offender?" And these are other natures of crime for the women judges. See, their motivations aren't sex crimes, but that's what they were. They were also, because they had the same courts had recorded online and with their campuses used for sex crime acts, identity theft crime acts. These are people that adapt to how people tell on them, and why they're conditioning everyone to roles to what is indifferent to what was his facilitated intercampuses of Washington and Trade Center tied, shared policed, there and here, crimes against their own and our own. Crime methods recorded. So in other words, they are behavior crimes because they also have criminal positions with people who deal with who in various natures of industries. Because then when you need to steal someone's identity, they're saying this court's crooked. They have crime acts. These people are further crime roles recorded with the principal sex offender. And with the family members and the other ones recorded through time criminally involved. These other natures of crime, untimely deaths brought that to my awareness. Tied untimely deaths. And then there's a pattern of crimes People associated with medical corruption, foreign and domestic, with DACA, with intersciences, families crimes, offensive evidence reception, sequence shifts. Also crimes with Fianza family. I don't know them either. There were crimes with WFSB police and with interbranch police, men and women with child sex offenders, crimes with the with the state judicial branch office, with house next to it, crimes with Sal Ciaviello and with Kathy Tanzi, associated with a Klotz family and with a Kerr family, recorded and confessed with military and state police corruption down the street and with crimes in the area with the houses like a Phil Cololo, recorded and confessed by Bob Chase, involved further with the New Britain Superior Court and with their crimes with doctors with a forensics place. Also, crime and state police form stuff. All of the crimes with the body dumping spot of Billy Grosso through time, and with the serial killer, real or made up. If he's police form fake or not, because that came first. No, that this is people involved that were facilitated the crimes with the transition from ACA to RICO. Was recorded originally and still keeping our agencies and military criminally foreign influence and delusions rot, and with our branches, fake predators. So they have needs to use the holidays criminally. So don't let them ruin everyone's holiday, but don't let sensibilities for everyone to get along be for the mistake for what keeps the child offenders. Because we have more of them with the policing of the schools through time also, how that was tied to the shared policing of the stores. Like Stop and Shop has the mother of one of the child sex offenders, and has sources involved with WFSB with further identity thefts, crimes with what's his name? People associated with the O'Brien family with crimes with the with prosecutors and stuff like that, with their families and their kids. See, there's a Christine Bedard / Tardet, recorded and confessed, involved with crimes interbranch, outside of court, facilitated as a victim predator, and then inside of court. See, they have men and women are indifferent to being offenders of each age as the courts, because how the various nature of the courts and their family member were used for database crimes growing up. So it's important too that you shouldn't have gone another semester with the rest of the child offenders. And I'm the one. I need my voice. I need my free speech. They need to have forging names, switching names into branch. They have a Leahy family recorded, confessed, involved using their kids too as doctors, with other doctors involved criminally with a Yagman family and with houses around the Samuel Dix house. There's a house on the corner of Church Street and Main Street that's involved with the English department at CCSU and her involvements with 3 of the chairs of the department criminally, involved with the houses in my area, involved with the child sex offenders further, and with the police forms, like a Dillon family, and with the foreign and domestic military facilitated the crimes on and off CCSU, and with the serial killer body dumping spot, as the ones facilitated the crimes recorded and confessed with the Fianza family. As strangers sought me out to make recorded confessions and demonstrations about their roles with crimes with drugs and with these are us people crimes leading up to a 2006 case with defendant former director of the FBI Robert Luskin, and with his crimes with the police, with the courts and military police, foreign and domestic, leading up to that 2006 case with the defendant, former director of the FBI, and a daughter in my grade who was one of the other federal criminal court defendants of his, with another federal criminal court defendant of his, lived in another town on the street of Eric Jensen, on Dearborn in Newington that was put in my class, involved with others with the family members, extended family members of Ray Clough, who came into my grammar school when I was in fourth grade. See, these were in the recorded confessed crime rolls with the police chief now, and with other ones for the extended immediate family criminal involved, and with John Mayano also tied to the crimes with the interbranch sources of the media and their fake news natures of crime acts. And then with the impositions for people like me who need to report crime acts, and they're saying I'm talking about conspiracies. They're saying other people are talking about conspiracies. We have little sick fake men. We have fake women judges, women black and white judges, crimes with KKK and Confederate flag themed crimes with predicate acts clicks like that theme recorded, forging names, switching names, military police crimes, identity theft clicks, database crimes, drug crimes with kids through time. I just remind. That's also the same clicks, intercities, criminally involved. Each campus I went to with strangers that make confessions, then you never see them again. Those confessions came up because it's a reaction. Then when you need to report about how you know things, in other words, when those people get caught up in serious crime acts, and they're being they're being used to value fact treatments about others when they don't really know those people. And the only exceptions they know are contexts where they can't be honest about it. And because by the way it's influenced by overt criminal enterprises already left with areas, juxtaposed shared policing, the same thing there. Juxtaposed private uncharged, same thing there. Juxtaposed overt criminal enterprises. Recorded in collusion with them with crime acts in the area. And with criminal uses of the witness protection program. And with crimes with a doll. And with the sensibilities of the presidents, also per their uses of naming a person named Bayrock, one of the black kids. I don't know that, as an adult or as a kid. That's the name they told. When he came out around a corner, punched me one time, then we went to the office. Then they let us go. See, I never got in trouble for things like that and then I never saw that kid again. Later that day, we went to a golf course. They said it was tied to it. They told him to go to the golf. So we went to the golf course. That golf course, the cemetery across the street of it from it, where J.P. Morgan is buried from the had to loan money to the government to fight the world wars. That's also right at the end of the Berlin Turnpike. There's a gravestone place there. There's a guy named Steven and his family with that gravestone place also recorded and confessed involved with all kinds of crimes with Farmington Avenue and the location of the lawyer of former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin. I mean, no, that's the director, Robert Chevrolet. Note they have the same name, Robert, because they have name forging and switching as a role with their crime roles and facilitations of and cover-ups roles of child sex offenders, of crime methods and acts in cases and identity thefts inside cases leading up to it, crime roles with on-off campus, interbranch police, and military police, preventing the confessions from being reported and then sticking database lies. The people associated with triages places where people need to go if they really have substance abuse problems and things. Those places are being used to stack lies about people that don't even do drugs into databases. Those places are being used to pretend people have mental illnesses in prison and stuff like that. And in life, they say, oh, they can tell. They have a law where they can tell real quick. They say, But see that the law doesn't tell them to be able to make things up and to hide how things are made up. And see, the law doesn't say to hide their physical delusions and roles recorded delusion propagating. You see, we have psychology, delusions propagating, and we have them as behavioral crime methods, including, a whole bunch of other agents of the FBI and their family use criminally, with in personal cases with defendant, former director of the FBI, and his roles with crimes with the houses in my area further confessed and recorded crimes with the Dillon family and with more child offenders and uses of my name, more crime methods and tricks and acts involved with that. Houses in my area with a house over near the pond, I don't know the name of the family yet, with a girl involved. See, these are people that move on to positions interbranch that are criminally foreign influence that exploited through time, like on off Fox CT, involved with two Mendez brothers, involved pretending things recorded, stealing my identity through time, sequence shifting. I never had a class with them, never had a conversation with them. They put me in fake conversation, pretending things recorded. These are problems that we're going to deal with, because I'm not going to keep begging the media to fix their fake news. They have fake Facebook pages, fake YouTube pages, pretending to be me, pretending to be people entitled to me through time, pretending to be me too with passion crimes. See, these are behavior predators also recorded criminally, knowing they're criminally forcing people to raise their voices per their offensive evidence perception crime, as all natures of identity thefts. We have sick fake courts, criminal predators, criminals, and then they're calling other people criminal because they got arrested. People without records have more integrity. Even people with records have more integrity than them. So we need a whole bunch of people from the Britain Superior Court and from Hartford Superior Court and from other natures of courts involved criminally to stand down, like in all of the positions of the court. Like, worse than stand down, we need them out. We need them to pick one name in sequence, like Connecticut District Court. Crimes also with the fake news being used and coached to crimes. They're indifferent to crimes because that's their job, and they're like the same way that the gangs are saying, "Well, that's our job to make money. We don't care." They don't care about. In other words, the judges tell them to lie with child offenders, steal people's identities. They don't care. You see what I'm saying? Then because this is an on-off campus method through time, because it's sustaining roles and jobs and with positions on the campuses that are inter-campus connected. Also crimes with Puerto Rico, Mexico, with CCSU. Also crimes with facilitated roles with Pakistan, Italian family with the police chief and his extended family and his daughter. Involved crimes with Johnny Bellucci's family with the educational department. Involved crimes with many with the English department. Involved crimes with the houses at the corner of Church Street in Maine with the acting coach and with a Cohen who attached me to fake conversations. Now, I don't know if that's a victim predator, but these are all because they're not letting me get a response here, and they're using these names and tying me to. They're not letting me speak, and they keep attaching me to fake words and switching. The Cohen guy is also crimes with a detective, Samudo, who pretended he arrested me. Switched names with a officer Magnanos, who led me off campus, then came with Wethersfield Police to Officer Magnanos, and gave a handwritten thing to my mother at my house with Wethersfield Police. Now, the Officer Magnanos is an East Hartford officer, but he was on the campus of CCSU. And his family members also recorded and confessed involved with the intercity. See, other people with on off CCSU campus on Franklin Avenue, and with East Hartford, other houses criminally involved. Criminal uses of the governor and of his family, with identity thefts, with wire crime rolls, mail crime rolls, child sex offender crime rolls, fake news crime acts, criminal use rolls with where the governor mansion is not too far from the area criminally involved, with the John Mayana fake news crime acts rolls, with men and women sick, with the courts and with prosecutors' families that were raised, identity theft crime acts, lying to groups and where they're going to go as a progression nature on and off campuses, and uses of that, criminal uses of each age of fact-shaping nature, each campus together. They have deans forging names, switching names because there are other natures of crime. Facilitated identity thefts with people from my town that I never had a conversation with, anything to do with, tied to ones that I only know from them in context they couldn't be honest about. Like about the brief moments I know, the ones tied to Heather Hansen and the woman who was a girl when I was a kid that I never had a class with her confessions and demonstration of her crimes with the CCSU Trinity College crime acts cliques. And these are the people with identity thefts, and then crimes with fake news and behavior crimes because they're pretending, and the judges in the court aren't following the rules. They're sequence shifting, stealing people's identities, making up things with child sex offender caught with them. They know it's recorded. They're making evidence mistakes on purpose. They have the means to know that even their court was involved with that since before that criminally. And WFSB and Fox CT, before they had those crime acts and fake news, they were already crime acts, offensive evidence reception with federal criminals tied to body dumping spots before that. Foreign and domestic military. They're making the only people that are allowed to meet other people are through context maintained, specifically maintain criminally foreign influences. All kind of rackets on off campuses. Forget about it. These aren't opinions that are going into any election free. These aren't free speech when they say they're caring about voting. We're lost if you don't follow mandated law. Get off my voice and let someone lead who's going to use truth and facts not as a weapon. Who's going to do it not as lies. Who's going to do it? They hear truths and they attach lies to it. Like behavior, when someone raises their voice, like it should be real fast when you have to in front of kids. And there are needs to do it real fast to get it done so it doesn't have to happen anymore. See, because they have people invested sensibilities through time and through tricks using business relationships and stuff like that, laws tied to that, locking people into sensibilities where they can't treat. In other words, I shouldn't have to speak through other people. I shouldn't have to speak through my family members that I haven't even had a conversation with in years. But they're forcing that because they can't handle my voice. And they need to pretend they know I raised my voice. And they already attached that to fake conversations with me and others. And so in other words, they're also with gun crimes and drug crimes. Also bug spray crimes. So people need to use their voice. Knife crimes. Crimes with kids' spots that would have been prevented. Fear God. Fear God, Weathersfield. You cowards. Who's the mayor? Who's the mayor? Tell the mayor to see this YouTube video and to get the judges' names to one name in sequence. And from the forging and switching names. And I'm going to speak for myself because they're recorded and confessed by my family and by people of every age of girl involved with abuses on them. And boys in my area that are with extended family members with child sex offenders, recorded and confessed, involved with crimes with those courts and with prison cliques with the kids when they were young. Middletown's got a whole bunch of doctor families and stuff like that criminally involved. Military families criminally involved. To Alma. And just because you walk some by someone, saw them in the past, all exceptions criminally exploited. We're gonna see this too because these are them crimes with medical campuses and with the location of the Samuel Dick's house right around the corner from a Yagman family criminally involved with a Leahy family and with a Dingleberry and a Dr. Dewberry with child sex offenders with him and his brothers and with the ones around that corner there with identity thefts, crimes with the probate judge's family brothers, like 4 or 5 brothers, with the daughters that had shared boyfriends at the same time, one of them, and then the other one went out with the other brother, and those people are all involved with the houses with the AT&T and with the FBI criminally involved, with the witness protection family house used, and the witness protection program used criminally directly and indirectly, with the area 2 used criminally with the houses with the former and standing police chief who's been for years involved with his family directly. So we have each branch individually grouped and together, criminally foreign influence and delusions raw. And I'll delineate the delusions of branches each be taught. Anthony Wall. Get them down! Give me a response now. Give me a response now. Hurry up now. Because before the winter break, we're going to take care of the kids. Because this is the on and off campus. You see when you have there's a Danny Amarante. Now, they have him around the sensibility. Oh, you kids like snow. That's good. That's a nice guy, right? But see, these are on-off campuses problem. This is a crime method, identity thefts. You see, his news, they're making sensibilities for misprision criminality with people with databases, with all kinds of roles with drugs. 2 Mendez brothers drug crime roles with police forms with the undercover where they use that, pretend that as a fact-cheating nature record because they have predicate acts, crimes and cases that have nothing to do with drugs. They're using the ability to lie for what they don't have the ability to do. That's why we have leaks and stuff like that reported. If it's made up, that's why they have nature of that reporting at the national level, being because the states and areas are criminally foreign influence. How is recorded tied to the line from that house all the way to CNN, criminally involved with the English department, with the acting department, with the educational department, with the same cliques with the crimes with the houses next to CCSU and next to Trinity College facilitated the sequence shifts before I was in those locations. Already they were confessed and recorded crimes with that supposed box. Yes. So get a response. Give me a response. Or we're gonna go into the houses of we're gonna go into the houses further. I'm gonna make a map drawing people I don't know that they need to pretend other. You know, these are people you guys influence with overt criminal enterprises and with your uses of sequence shifts with misprision clicks, fake conversations with me, speaking through other people, a loaded statement where they know I'm going to walk through that door at that time because I just got called to the office. Little tricks like that. Those are the people now standing involved with identity thefts. Whole bunch of girls with the name Alicia tied to New York and to here that got involved with me on my personal relationships. And I can't defend myself from that and defend little kids at the same time and defend myself. I'm being extorted too because they have all fake rap mob Justice Department ties with CCSU, Trinity College rap mobs, also tied to all the boxing spots. They don't even box. And Sammy Vega, criminally involved. With sequence shifts too, before Ray Hernandez brought him into it. He was brought into it by the people with a sexual circle, with a Gary Sasso, and with a DCF people involved with drug crimes with their family members and with the leaderships of the prisons, with their family members criminally involved too, with others on off CCSU, on off Middlesex Community College, sequence shifts too. No, before I went there. that were there were recorded crimes. The Morrow family. There's two the Morrow family, two intercity involved criminally with the spot with WFSB with many others with the, on and off their location. Also going to be in the map and with businesses. So I would fix the news instead of making me beg you for my free speech and for my identity back and all the fake shit, the fake junk you put in the databases. Let's go. Respond to mandated law. Stop forging names and switching names into brands. Disgusting as women. That's why you have disgusting fake men. That's why you have women hurting little girls' roles because that were abused growing up. That's why. Because the same men, they're tools of them now. Let's go. Bow, then fall. Fake branches all. Now build the wall.